Hey guys, it's Kristin. So I'm doing another one of these unedited raw videos. I love them and I hate them. I love them because I don't have to edit or do anything. I hate them because I typically make mistakes when I'm talking, or like the dogs will start barking or my phone goes off or something. So I usually have to edit. So I can't edit with these. But anyways, so for today's video, I wanted to talk about, I guess, like ghosts or spirits, the afterlife, more or less like what you guys believe or like experiences you've had. And I want to tell you about like some experiences that I've had, or at least I think that I've had. We'll see. I don't know. I think that I've had some ghost experiences, but I don't know. I don't know if you can ever be like positive if you've had one or not. So anyways, going back, like, I want to say 8 years ago, maybe something like that, 7 or 8 years ago, we had this like desk in our old house, and when I would sit there, like every once in a while, it wasn't every single time, but every once in a while I was sitting there, I would smell cigar smoke. And it was very clear, like, you know what cigar smoke smells like. So I would think to myself, like, what? I would like look around, I'm like, why does it smell like cigar smoke? I'm like sniffing the desk, like I'm that weird person, right? I'm like sniffing my clothes. I'm like, do I smell? Was I around someone that smokes cigars? I'm sniffing the desk, I'm like sniffing the monitor, I'm like trying to figure out where this smell is coming from. And then like within a minute or two, it would be gone. So I was just like, that was really weird. You know, and people are like, when you have a stroke or something, apparently you smell toast, or I don't know, like weird stuff like that. So then I'm starting to think that it's me, like something's wrong with me. But then over the next like few years, whatever, this would happen all the time, like at least once a month or something. I'd be sitting at the desk, I'd be like, even if I was at the desk for hours, right, like working on videos or working on whatever, all of a sudden it would just come on, and I'd be like, okay, I've been sitting here for 2 hours, I have not smelled cigar smoke at all, now all of a sudden I smell it again. So it was just really weird. So where the ghosty part comes in, is my family came over for, I think it was the American Thanksgiving, because if you guys don't know, I'm Canadian. So they came over for the American Thanksgiving, and my cousin was staying, both my cousins were staying with me, and my aunt and uncle were staying at my mom's side, because we lived in like a side-by-side type of house thing. So anyways, the next morning, my cousin, so that evening, see, this is where the editing part would have come in, but sorry. So that evening when they came over, something happened, and then the next morning, my younger cousin was like freaking out, and she was like, I swear to God I saw a ghost in your house, and she like didn't want to stay with us anymore, and she's like, I don't like this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, because she was sleeping on the couch downstairs, and the computer's like just on the other side of the couch, and she's like, I was sitting downstairs and I thought my dad was standing at the door, because I could see someone smoking a cigar. And like literally, like even right now I'm getting chills, but like the second she said cigar, I was like, I was like, oh, I don't like this. And because her dad does smoke cigars sometimes, but so she's like, I called out to him, and then he just like, she's like, he just disappeared. She goes, it was really freaky, like just disappeared, like didn't walk away, just like was gone. And so she said that she asked her dad, like, were you at the house last night? And he's like, no, we were all, you know, on the other side or whatever. So it just was really weird that, like, you know, I've been smelling, and up to this point it had been like 2 or 3 years of me like smelling this cigar smoke. And then she tells me she sees this guy standing by our door smoking a cigar. It was just really creepy. Now, the reason why I decided to make this video today was because the same thing happened again last night. And I have not smelled cigar smoke for a long time. Like, it happened once after we moved out of the house. I think I was in the car maybe or something, and I just smelled it for like 10 seconds. It was like, it came and went, and I thought maybe it was someone driving by, or, you know, sometimes you can smell cigar smoke, cigarette smoke, stuff like that. But over the last couple days, I've been like really reading about mediums and stuff. I'm just fascinated with mediums, with like people that have the ability, because I totally believe in all that. I believe that there's an afterlife. I believe that people, like, there might be someone watching me make this video right now that's standing in my living room. I don't know, but I believe that that's possible. You know, I believe in mediums. I think that because I feel like there's been enough proof where they know things about people that no one would ever know. There's no way they could know that stuff unless they were actually talking to someone from the other side. So I just fully believe. So I just finished watching the show Medium, like the one from like 2009 or whatever it was, and I was just like, man, that was like, I wish there was more episodes. So I was reading about it, and you know, the character's like a real person. So I kind of started watching some of her videos, and there was a video she did where she said that the afterlife, they're always trying to communicate with us. But, you know, as adults, we have this logic like, you have a reason for something. If the light flickers, oh, it's just because like, you know, there's a storm or there's an electrical problem, or I don't know, like you always have a reason or an excuse why something happened. And she was saying that they're always trying to communicate with you, and they get so frustrated because they're always dismissed, right? Like, oh, it was just the electricity, or if something fell, it was just because like the dog knocked into something, or like it's always dismissed. So I was just like thinking about that. I'm like, I should be more open-minded about when I feel like something happens, or something like there's a noise or something gets knocked over or whatever. Like, keep an open mind that that might have been somebody trying to communicate with me. And so that, no, not last night, the night before, I was telling Matt about that, and I was like telling him about what the research I did and stuff, and we were literally talking about it, and the salt shaker fell off our stove, and I like jumped because, you know, not a big deal. Okay, salt shaker fell. He could have, again, he could have bumped the stove or whatever. But like I was standing there talking to him. He wasn't really, he was over the stove, but he wasn't touching it to the point where he could bump it. And I just thought it was weird that as I was telling him about objects moving, the thing fell. And we've lived here for, I don't know, 9 months or something. That salt shaker's been in the same spot. It's never fallen ever, not even once. So, you know, part of me you could dismiss it and say like, it was just, you know, he bumped it, whatever. But I just, like, it was just so freaky that we were talking about objects moving and then it happened. So anyways, rambling, getting back to the cigar smoke. So then last night, you know, it's still fresh in my mind, and I'm still thinking about like the whole being open-minded, and, you know, because the more open-minded you are, the more possibilities of people being able to communicate with you. And I'm sitting in bed, or where was I? Oh, I was in the kitchen. So I'm in the kitchen, and I'm in the kitchen for a good 20 minutes making dinner and stuff, and I get this whiff of cigar smoke again. And I'm like, I go, Matt, do you smell that? And he's like, I don't smell anything. I go, you don't smell like cigar smoke? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. And so then I'm like, I lean over and I'm sniffing over here and I'm sniffing over here and I'm trying to figure out where it was. And within like 10 seconds again, it was just gone. I didn't smell it anymore. And I'm thinking, part of me is like, dude, you just want it to be cigar smoke. You're just making your mind think that it's cigar smoke. But the other side of me is like, I've been really trying to have like an open mind. I've been talking about this for the last couple of days. Like, what if this was someone trying to communicate with me? So I contacted my mom and I asked her, I was like, who do we know? I was like, did your dad smoke cigars? Because I never met my grandpa. He died before I was born. And I knew that my papa, which I don't know how that, I don't know, he's like, I think he's my papa through marriage, but anyways, whatever. He did smoke cigars. I knew that for a fact, but I never really like got close to him or anything. And the last time I saw him was when I was like 10. So I always feel like if someone's gonna try to communicate with you, it's gonna be like someone close to you. But anyway, so I asked her about it, and she's like, no, he was the only one. Papa was the only one who smoked cigars. And she's like, you want to know what's really weird though? She's like, I was just thinking this morning about how that when we would go over to their house, like all of their stuff and all their food would smell like cigar smoke. And she's like, and I have not thought about them in years. So then it made me like even more like kind of weirded out, because I was like, what are the chances that on the exact same day, neither one of us has thought about them in years, you know, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, and on the exact same day, she's thinking about them and then I smell the cigar smoke. So I don't know, it's really just like what you believe. This could just, you know, some people are like, that's just you wanting it to be someone, that's just you wanting to smell the cigar smoke, so you do smell it. And then on the other side, that could have been my papa or someone trying to communicate with me. Maybe it's someone I don't even know that's attached to an object that I have owned for the last 10 years, and so every time I move or go somewhere, you know, they're attached to it, if you believe that. So anyways, it was just really weird. The other thing with like the spirits and stuff is, part of me, I really like, I think it is so cool with some of these mediums where they can work with the police and they can help catch criminals and they can see the things they see. And I think that would be so cool to do that. But on the other side, I am petrified, because you have some like mediums that say no, they look like Alison DuBois. She says that when they die, they go to the age that they were the most happy and they look normal. So they don't look like if you were shot in the head, you wouldn't look like you were shot in the head. But then you have, oh, somebody's trying to text me. See, interruptions. But then you have a movie like Sixth Sense where he's seeing the people as they were, how they were killed. And if I just all of a sudden saw someone standing in my living room that had a bullet hole and half their head blown off, I would freak out. Like the thought of that right now is making me freak out because I'm like, now that I'm openly talking about it, please don't happen right now. Like, I don't want to see anybody right now. But if you could see people like normal and you could communicate, or maybe just get images in your head or like stuff like that, that would be fine. But like, if someone was whispering to me, I would probably have a nervous breakdown. So I don't know, it's like weird. It's like I do want to be able to communicate or be more open-minded, but not so much where I'm terrified of like being in my own house. I don't know, it's weird. So it looks like I'm at 11 minutes, so I made the 10-minute mark at least. I'm really curious what you guys think about this. I'm also curious if you made it to the end of this video. So if you did make it to the end of this video, maybe comment below and let me know. I'm also curious if you do believe in this. If you have ghost stories, please, please, please comment those below. I love reading that stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this so that I don't keep rambling on. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you wanna see more, don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.